Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of February 2024. We are going to start off with the general overview of your month. So we're going to take a look at the main themes of your month ahead, the main energies that you'll be dealing with, as well as significant events and changes coming your way. And then we're going to take a look at some specific areas of your life. So we are going to see what's happening in your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. There are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, so I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Pink Cat's Eye. Number 2 is Rainbow Aura Amethyst. And number 3 is Fluorite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Pink Cat's Eye, this is going to be your reading all about your month of February 2024. We are going to start off by taking a look at these oracle cards to get a general overview of your month ahead, the main themes, the main energies that you are working with. So to start off, we have catharsis, not always the point, but often an outcome. Anything you want to find, it's out there somewhere. And we have, I have no expectations and make no assumptions. So for my group number 1s, the month of February feels like a huge release. There is a huge weight that is being lifted off of you, or that you are finally putting down. And I think it has to do with certain expectations that you have placed on yourself, certain standards that you have put on a pedestal and have tried to force yourself to fit. And realizing that these are holding yourself to these standards or putting these expectations on yourself is not only unnecessary, but it has been exhausting for you and hasn't been helpful. And it's like you're just letting go of them, and it feels like this huge burden is dissolving. Expectations that you've placed on yourself to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to feel certain things or not feel certain things, to achieve certain accomplishments, to be at a certain point in your life by a certain age or time. It feels like you're letting go a lot of these things that have been putting a constant pressure on you and that have not really been making you happy or adding any positive value to your life, but maybe, were expectations that you were programmed to hold, or standards that you were programmed to hold yourself to. I feel like you're rejecting them. And it feels like a sweet release. It feels very healing. With this card here, anything you want to find, it's out there somewhere. It's really just making me think of how big this wide world is and how there's so many different kinds of fish in the sea. And so why would you ever have to fit one rigid way of being? One example that's actually coming to my mind right now is like a creator, someone who makes art or someone who makes content. And they've been putting this pressure on themselves that they must create in this one certain format. They must use this one certain structure. They must stick to this genre. They must stick to these conventions. Otherwise, people are not going to like it. And that is an assumption, right? I put this expectation on myself to create in this one certain way because I'm making the assumption that if I don't do that, it's not going to resonate with people. People are not going to like it. And it's like your ego might be underestimating just how vast this world is and just how diverse the people in this world are. There's so many different preferences out there. There's so many different personalities that will and won't vibe with you. There's so many different communities who have different values. To think that you have to be one certain way to be accepted, it's like just underestimating how big and diverse the world is. And so I think something you're realizing this month is that it's not about fitting into any boxes. It's about letting go of all of that and finding the little niche in the world where you belong. And that's not going to be with everyone. It's impossible to be with everyone. You can't make everyone happy, but you can find the people that you do make happy and who make you happy in return. It's like you've been putting this impossible standard on yourself to be like palatable to everyone or to make everyone comfortable. And the reason it's so exhausting is because it is impossible. So we're just like letting all of that go. We're letting all of that go this month. And I also think this could have to do with like feeling like you need to know the final outcome of everything. And another specific example that's coming to my mind is like seeing signs and synchronicities. And then rather than that being this beautiful thing of like, oh, the universe is talking to me, like the universe is showing love, the universe is showing that it has my back, like my spirit guides are sending me love, or oh, that person's higher self is here, hello. Like instead of rejoicing in these signs and synchronicities, we might even be interacting with them with this feeling of pressure of, I must decipher what this means for my future. I must figure out what the outcome is going to be of seeing this, and like rather than just like being in the moment and enjoying it. Of course, that's just one example, and this energy can be applied to many things in life. Your interactions that you have with people, not like, sometimes we can start digging really deep into them and being like, what does this mean in terms of how they feel about me? It took them this long to respond, so it must mean that they don't like me, or they have this look on their face, it must mean that they're bored. It's like just not exhausting yourself with trying to assume what everything means and assume how everyone is feeling. You're not putting that burden or that responsibility on you anymore. I hope that makes sense. I feel like that was a lot of different stuff, but the main theme is surrender and release and letting go of expectations that have been exhausting you. So let's take a look at our astrology cards to see what else we have. We have the sun. And we have the solar eclipse. Very interesting. So 2 sun cards are coming out. Leo energy could be significant to this group. What is that noise? Something is beeping outside, sorry. Leo energy could be significant to this group, someone who has Leo placements, whether that's you or someone else. Or because we have 2 suns here, this could be indicating that people who have the same sun sign as you could be like relevant in your life in the month of February. The solar eclipse, I am fairly certain that this is the eclipse that happens during a new moon. So the solar eclipse is an indication of big, powerful change, of exciting new beginnings. And it's interesting too, this would be a waning moon, right? So this moon is waning and it's about to become a new moon. So something that we're doing in February, we might be tying up loose ends and like closing off cycles to prepare for a breakthrough. What is that beeping sound? Anyway, to prepare for a breakthrough or to prepare for an exciting new chapter. I feel like there's something brewing on the horizon for this group, like a new era of your life where you feel liberated, where you feel confident, where you feel bubbly, where like your passion and zest for life has been restored. And the month of February is about just sweeping out the last of that stale energy that is not serving you anymore, ending cycles, tying up loose ends. And I'm gonna look up when solar eclipse is coming this year, because that could be like when your breakthrough is. Solar eclipse 2024. is happening in April. Interesting. April 8th, 2024 is when we are having a solar eclipse. So it looks like you are currently like in some preparation stage for this big breakthrough that is coming. And while we're here, because Leo energy was coming through, let me also check when the moon is going to be in Leo in the month of February, because those could be important dates for you. The moon is going to be in Leo from the 21st to the 24th of February. So those could be relevant dates. But I think you will notice starting in the month of February that the energy is starting to get lighter and lighter for you. And you're starting to feel more and more like your future is bright. I do think it will be something that's kind of happening gradually until you experience like a big breakthrough. And you could be going through some kind of glow up as well. I definitely think your confidence and your self-image is improving. You could be becoming a lot more creative, or if you already are a creative, your levels of inspiration, like the ideas that you have for new projects and the excitement that you feel towards your projects could really be growing at this time. You could also be being a little bit more experimental because you no longer have these like creative shackles on you of I must do things this one way, otherwise people won't like it. Once you take that off, you have full reign to explore yourself and explore your creativity and, you know, get a little bit wild with it. Like it feels like you're coming out of the box. You're not following rules anymore. So let's take a look now at our tea leaf cards to see any other specific events coming up this month that you should know about. Oh my gosh. We have carrot, opportunity, or windfall. We have axe, forces working against you. And we have cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. Look at that. So if there were any forces working against you, you are protected from them. And I think it's so beautiful that this specifies things that are beyond your control. So yes, there are certain things that are outside of you that are beyond your control, but your spiritual team will be protecting you from them. And what is coming to you is a significant opportunity, which could be related to your career or related to your creative endeavors. And then windfall, I think that's like a lot of stuff like falling into your lap at once, like a lot of money coming in at once. Could also be like a lot of recognition coming in at once. So again, like we were literally just talking about you getting ready to experience a breakthrough. The fact that we have this carrot growing in the ground, it makes me think like the seeds have already been planted for this, and it's already been grounded in the physical reality, this opportunity, and now it just has to make its way to you, and nothing can stop that. And looking at this cobweb, something that always just amazes me about spiders is that if their web gets destroyed, they will just build it again. Like, I feel like they're such a beautiful symbol of resilience. And webs are so beautiful and intricate and delicate. And it's like, no matter how many times they get knocked up, they will just keep making it again and again. And I think there's a message in there for you that the opportunities that are meant for you, they're not going to give up on you. So even if you like missed it the first time, it's just going to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, because it is programmed to find you. It is meant for you. It is not meant for anyone else. Like no one can get in the way. Not even you can get in the way of what was meant for you. Beautiful. So this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to get into the specific areas of your life now. As you can see, I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and love life and relationships, career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the 5 of Coins. And for your oracle card, we have Volcano. Volatile energies, channel carefully. So with the 5 of Coins here, we do have Taurus energy present here. Taurus, Aries, or Gemini people could be significant, especially if one of those is your sun sign. You could be dealing with someone in those signs. I feel like this is a little bit of a warning message. There's also Mercury energy here in this 5 of Pentacles card, which talks about communication. And with this volatile energies, channel carefully, I feel like there's a warning message about the way you convey certain messages to someone. Like, for example, you know when you're like angry or frustrated and you're just kind of worked up in the heat of the moment, and then you might snap at somebody, you might not choose the best wording, you might say something in the heat of the moment that you don't really mean because you were, speaking from a place of emotional reactivity, or like you were triggered and you got defensive and you kind of like misspoke, and then you regret it later. Like, this is the kind of vibe that is present here. And the 5 of Coins, it can talk about lack, feeling left out, loneliness. And I feel like in the context of this reading, it may be talking about someone feeling hurt or disappointed, or some distance being created in a relationship. So there's kind of a warning message of like, I guess, be careful how you word things, be careful of snapping, be careful of like answering with sarcasm, be careful of losing your temper, of outbursts, things of that nature. I think this is something that it can happen to everyone. It's just like in the heat of the moment, you become reactive, but there may be like an important conversation that you need to have with someone, and we need to be really careful about like the wording and make sure that we're showing up to that conversation when we're in a good place mentally, like when we're feeling calm and grounded. Or maybe there's like friction between you and someone close to you because like one of you is going through a stressful time. It's like just needing a little bit of extra effort this month when it comes to grounding, really like thinking and taking time before you speak, just to avoid hurt feelings, honestly. So yeah, that is the message here. And it says channel carefully. It definitely doesn't say don't channel. So if you're feeling anger or frustration towards someone, those emotions are very valid and you definitely should express them. And I think it's just something about like choice of words, or not saying unnecessarily hurtful things. Like, there's a way that you can communicate what went wrong, communicate why you're upset, communicate why you're disappointed. But when it comes to like the words you choose, or like nonverbal communication, it can really like change how the message comes through. And yeah, I think it's just a warning message about like, be careful about getting carried away in the heat of the moment, that kind of thing. So for your next cards, we have messages about your career and studies. And for your tarot card, we have the 7 of Ankhs, which is the 7 of Swords. And for your oracle card, we have Moon. Trust your instincts and befriending the shadow side. Group number one, there's a little bit of challenging energy going on for you this month. I don't think things have to play out this way. I feel like these are more just heads up for the energy that is coming, so that you can like avoid certain situations, or so that you can like deal with them in a way that serves you. So you might know the Seven of Swords, it can talk about some sneaky or shady, deceptive, dishonest energy, or more loosely translated, just like getting a bad vibe from something. Like I feel like there's more going on than meets the eye. You know, even if it looks good on the surface, I just don't really get a good feeling from what's going on. And then right next to this, we have the moon, which is saying to trust your instincts. So something that might be happening in your career or in your, at school, is someone is just not sitting well with you, or like you could be receiving an offer that is just not really sitting well with you. And the message from your spiritual team is to please validate those feelings. And I think something that can get in the way of this is like a lack mentality. And this is not a judgment at all, by the way, but like, let's say someone comes to you with a job offer and intuitively you're like, I don't know, this doesn't really sound right, or I just don't really get a good feeling about this company or about this person I'm talking to. But if the lack mentality will say, yeah, but like nothing better is going to come along anyway. Like you think you can do better than this, or like, oh, but if you don't take this, then what if we don't get another opportunity? What if nothing comes? This is good money. You can't pass this up. You know, things like that. Things like that start to come up and can it's almost like pressure you, like coerce you into ignoring your intuition. Because you're like, you know what, you're right. We do need the money. Or, you know, this is a great opportunity for networking. This is a great opportunity to get exposure. I would be silly to say no to this. And it's like, it's a warning message from your spiritual team to please validate your gut feeling and what your intuition is telling you, rather than succumbing to the pressures of your ego and to that lack mentality that says, well, nothing else better is going to come. And if you say no to this, you're going to miss out on opportunities. You're going to miss out on money. Because if you ignore your intuition, your gut instincts will be proven right in the end. Be wary of, just be critical of offers, I think, that are coming your way. And also of advertising that is shown to you, of anyone who's like trying to get you to sign a contract, or anyone that's trying to get you to endorse them. Just, yeah. Trust your instincts. That's basically it. And then for your final message, we have your spiritual and personal growth. Wow. For your tarot card, we have the Empress, which is beautiful. And let me just move these over just so we have room for everything. For your Oracle card, we have Silence. I feel like that just sums everything up so well. Stay still and listen. Subtle senses. This is really a month where like a warning message for you is to beware of impulsive actions, or beware of like reactivity, and to not rush. Like really take the time to be still with yourself. Take the time to listen to your gut. And, you know, judging from the energies that are here, I really do think like moments of stillness, deliberately taking moments to ground yourself and center yourself and quiet your mind. I feel like that's always important, but in the month of February might be something that is especially important for you. I'm hearing like taking time to diffuse tension that exists within you. If you're ever feeling like highly strung, or you feel like you have pent up energy, or you feel like you're getting too stimulated, taking a moment to diffuse that energy is really important so that you can get back in touch with your intuition and get back in touch with your soul. And if anything is not allowing you the time to do that, then it's not worth it. The Empress, one of her, well, she has so many beautiful messages. One of them is abundance and unconditional love. And this is what you're cultivating within yourself. It's like you don't feel the need to latch on to anything on the outside. I don't need to latch on to other people's opinions because I already have a very high opinion of myself. I don't need to latch on to this offer because I know that the universe has infinite other offers for me, and that the right one that is meant for me is going to find me no matter what. And I'm not going to chase this offer that feels sketchy to me, or I'm not going to chase this person that is inconsistent because my ego wants to convince me that I need it, or that I'm lesser without it, or that I'm nothing without it. I don't believe that anymore. I don't buy that anymore. Like, your unconditional self-love is reaching a point where it's like you don't buy into the BS that your fears tell you, or that your ego tells you, that you need this or that to be worthy. You're like, it. We're not playing that game anymore, basically. And realizing that the truth is always inside of you, and you need only slow down and tune in to figure out how you really feel. And you'll know when the time is right. You'll know when the time is right to speak up. You'll know when the offer is right to accept. But this is like placing yourself in the highest position and saying, my soul is the one that I will go to for counsel on this. And I will give my soul the space that it needs and the time that it needs to speak to me. And no one on the outside is allowed to rush me or pressure me or manipulate me, because my soul has the final say. I'm committed to that. So anything that wants to, what's the right word? I guess intrude. That wants to intrude on that sacred counsel between me and my soul, threatening me with like, oh, this opportunity isn't going to be here forever, or like trying to get a rise out of me. Like, I'm not buying it anymore. You cannot pressure me into thinking I'm going to lose something on the outside that makes me less valuable, because all my value is already here inside of me. I hope that makes sense. I think also the truth of like what is meant for me will not pass me by, and nothing can get in the way of that. That is a truth that's really anchoring itself within you. And I also think that feels like a weight lifted. I think the inner work that you've done is really contributing to a more peaceful and grounded and unbothered and unrushing version of you. And I love to see it. So my group number ones, these are all of the messages that are coming through for you. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. And I wish you a wonderful month of February as well. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, I will link my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and literally anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, group number one, and I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Rainbow Aura Amethyst, this is going to be your reading all about your month of February 2024. We're going to start off with the general overview of your month to look at the main themes and the main energies. So we are starting off with Seer. Be a pioneer, be an entrepreneur. The few lead the many. Then we have Gratitude. And I am one with the wind, the trees, and the sky. Right away, dolphins could be an important symbol or spirit animal for this group. But let's start over here with your Seer card. With this message, be a pioneer, be an entrepreneur. For some of you, this could definitely be like the literal sense. Some of you could be entrepreneurs, and this card is letting you know that the month of February is going to be an amazing month for your business. For those of you who have been considering starting a business, this could be your sign that February is a great month to do so, or just overall a confirmation that this desire for you to start your own business is in alignment with your soul's journey. It's something that you should definitely look into more, and a desire that you should definitely explore. Another interpretation of this could be you in a leadership role in general. So, for example, in your career, you could be stepping into a position with more authority. You could be leading a group. You could be in a manager role, or you could be receiving a promotion of some kind that gives you more freedoms, more power, and also more responsibility. But if I interpret this in an even broader way, I think that this is talking about my group number twos being trendsetters. So one example of this, and this is just something really simple, but like, let's say that there was a TV show that you have enjoyed for some time, and maybe you've told a few people about it, but they haven't really like gotten on board. But now in the month of February, all of a sudden, everybody's talking about this show. It is like the next big thing, but you've already been watching it for some time. Or like a musician that you really like, and now all of a sudden they're a sensation and everybody is talking about them. It's kind of like you predicted the trend. The same thing can be said with fashion too, of course. And even things that are not like pop culture related. It could even be things like your worldview, your spiritual beliefs, like your personal truth. Now you see is becoming a part of the popular discourse. You know, it could be something that you see in terms of your spiritual practice as well. Yeah, you are the trendsetter. You are the visionary. And, you know, going back to like entrepreneur, having your own business, that could be something that really helps you out in your business as well. It's like you see what's going to blow up before other people see it, just because you have great taste. And it could also be like a testament to the strength of your intuition. So yeah, like your tastes are definitely going to be popular in the month of February and are going to be mirrored by the people around you. With gratitude here, this can definitely be speaking to you being in an energy of gratitude. But actually the first thing that I thought when this card appeared was this is a month where you are really going to feel others' appreciation towards you. And I think that this is going to be in your personal life as well as in your professional life. I feel like there's something in the air where you're receiving heartfelt messages from the people in your life. So for example, at work, like a customer, a client, a coworker could send you a really heartfelt letter or email, or they could even send you a gift. And not only are they expressing their appreciation for you, but it seems like they're going into the specifics. You have done this, this, and this for me. You have impacted my life in this, this, and this way. And it's a little bit like a wake-up call for you, because I feel like while you might recognize that you're making a positive difference with the work that you do, it might not be something that you always get to see right in front of you. And it's kind of this wake-up call of like, damn, there's really like these people out there who are being positively impacted by what I'm doing. Like, it's like you get to see the impact of your work. Also, if you've done any like volunteer work, if you've made any donations, if you've made like contributions to certain causes that you care about, something that might be happening in the month of February is that you get to see the impact of your work and how it's helped people. And so it's like you're receiving that gratitude, and then you feel gratitude in return, and it creates this beautiful loop. Like, to use myself as an example, and like the work that I do is probably a great example, because I'm not connecting with you guys in person, right? Like, you're out there in the world. But if I were to meet someone and hear directly from them, like how a reading helped them, that would definitely hit me on a whole deeper level. So it's like you get to see firsthand, like, this is what you do for people. This is how much people appreciate you. And I think that's so lovely. And then with this message, I'm one with the wind, the trees, and the sky. That's a lovely message to follow as well, because it just shows how connected you feel, how connected you feel to the people around you, to your community. And also, I think how connected you feel to your purpose. I think another theme of this month for you guys is really feeling certainty that you are doing what you came here to do, what you're meant to do. Like, you feel very aligned with your purpose. So let's take a look at your astrology cards now. We have Pluto, and we have Libra. Pluto and Libra could actually be a significant placement, which Gen X people have Pluto in Libra. So people who are born roughly in the 70s and the early 80s, they would have Pluto in the sign of Libra. So maybe you or someone close to you who has this placement could be playing an important role for you in the month of February. Pluto's also related to the sign of Scorpio, so people with Libra or Scorpio placements could be significant. And I'm actually going to check when the moon will be in Libra and Scorpio, because these could be important dates for you. And I think, because I did look at the app when I was doing group 1, I think it's at the beginning of the month. Yes. It's actually, the moon's actually going into Libra on January 30th, and it's going to leave Scorpio on February 4th. So, yes, this is a reading for February, but that week of January 30th to February 4th could be an important time for this group. If I put the energies of Pluto and Libra together, there could be some pretty powerful changes coming in the areas of relationships or any kind of partnership. So it could be a business partnership as well, like the people you do business with. And I do think you may be more concerned with like the collective during this month. Just realizing, I think it's really hitting you just how connected we are and just how much we impact each other. Because it's one thing to know that and to be aware of it, but it's another to like see it firsthand and really feel it. I think the interconnectedness of the world is something that you are very sensitive to during this month, and you could be thinking a lot about like the ripple effect that your actions have, and how you want to impact the world, because I'm just thinking of Pluto as like this deep, intense, like this really intense impact. And then with Libra talking about the others, our relationships, our partnerships. That's kind of where I'm getting that, interpretation from. Yes, so let's look at our tea leaf cards now to see any other specific events or anything else you need to know for this month. We have Mountain, major challenge to overcome. If I can just be very literal for a second, you could be like climbing a mountain, hiking this month, or traveling to the mountains. Maybe you're like going skiing if you're somewhere where it's winter, skiing or snowboarding. We have Pig with beware of greed. Someone born in the year of the pig or year of the boar could be significant as well. I'm a year of the pig person. That's 1995, and it could be any 12 months ahead or behind of that. So like 1995 is one, also 2007, also 1983, 1971, 1959. Yeah, like that. And then we have Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Interesting. So we're just speaking about a change coming to your social life. And for some of you, and I actually do think this is just a few of you, for some of you, you could be cutting someone out of your life. But I think for most of you, it's just that there may be a certain person or certain people that you're realizing you can't relate to them in the same way anymore, or like you can't look at them in the same way anymore. And it's like, we can still be friends, we can still be acquaintances, but maybe you're choosing to keep someone at a distance. It feels like, you know, I used to think we could be really close, but now that I've learned this about you, or now that I've seen this behavior from you, like we can be friendly, but I don't think we can have that same kind of deep, intimate relationship anymore. And, you know, we have this message of like, you're disappointed in someone and then beware of greed. So you might be witnessing someone's behavior that is greedy or is like selfish or self-absorbed, and it's like you're trying to get over it with this major challenge to overcome. It feels like you have these conflicting emotions, because like this is someone that you've cared about and you've looked at in a certain way. And now that you see this other side of them, it's like you're trying to be... Also, I should mention, this just came to me. This could be a friend, but it could also be like a celebrity that you once really admired, that you once really looked up to. And like some information comes out about them and you're like, well, shit, like I still like your work and like I want to keep supporting you, but then there's also like I just can't. It's like these two things are at odds, and it's like you want to try to understand and you want to try to have compassion, but it's like really hard. And again, it's not, I don't think this is an intense thing as like, oh my gosh, I don't like you anymore, like you're dead to me now. It doesn't seem that intense. I think it's just like, oh okay, so like I can't really vibe with you like that anymore. Like I still appreciate you, I'm so grateful for you, but I don't think we resonate deeply with each other like we used to. That's the kind of feeling. Interesting. So this concludes the general overview part of the reading. So we are going to get into the specific areas of your life now. I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So for your tarot card, we have the Four of Cups. And for your oracle card, we have Inner Child, innocence and wonder, holding the little one within. So wow, the most significant relationship for you guys in February could be the relationship that you have with little you, with your inner child. The Four of Cups, this is a moon in Cancer card, by the way, so someone with a Cancer moon could be significant to you guys, but I'm also thinking of just the sign of Cancer in general, the energy it represents, and it's associated with the fourth house in astrology, which has to do with like our early childhood, our upbringing, our roots, and things of that nature. So you could be revisiting your childhood in the month of February, or just thinking a lot about little you, thinking a lot about child you and what they went through. It's interesting because like the actual meaning of the Four of Cups card, it can talk about things that you are not seeing or things that you are ignoring. And your inner child may have a wound around not being seen, which could be like people are seeing me but they're not understanding me. Or it could be like I feel ignored. I feel like people are not even looking at me. I feel like people don't care. Like there could be a part of your inner child that feels neglected, because in a lot of Four of Cups imagery, we see someone who is sitting here with their arms crossed, and this hand is offering them a cup, and they're just like, they're not even looking at it. They're not interested. They don't care, or like they don't even notice it. So your inner child may have a wound around like being ignored, not being noticed, not being valued, not really being seen. And I think this is something you're really making space for, like to feel that and holding your inner child in that pain. And you could also be examining your existing relationships as an adult and seeing how that inner childhood wound might come out and how it might influence your relationships. There's also a feeling of being more, because I'm thinking about a Cancer crab, or just a crab in general. Cancer means crab, but anyway, it has the hard exterior and then the soft interior. And that hard exterior is to protect it. And I feel like something you could be thinking about is, how do I, because you want to give your love to the world and you want to give your sweetness to the world. You want to share your love with everyone. So it's like, how do I make a shell that allows my love to be shared to the world, but that also protects me and also is selective about who gets to permeate my hard shell and access my soft interior. And I think you are someone, or you're becoming someone who you are kind to everyone. You are loving towards everyone. But when it comes to whom you share like a deep, intimate, personal relationship with, I think you are becoming very like careful of your selections. And I think you have, or you are creating like a small but very tightly knit social circle of people who are really loyal towards you and people that you can really trust. I feel like something that might be shifting in you is that you're not going to give people a million chances anymore. And you're not going to give people the benefit of the doubt when they've given you so many reasons not to. There's that expression, right? Like when people show you their true colors, believe them. And I think you're going to start kind of living by that. Like if anyone gives you a reason to be wary, you're going to listen to that. So yeah, I'm thinking of this as you becoming like, first of all, seeing little you, looking at them and making a promise to protect them and to protect that more vulnerable side of you. You may be just kind of moving away as well from superficial acquaintances or superficial relationships and just really focusing on like the beautiful deep bonds that you already have. And the number 4, it's stability, it's security. I feel like this is what you're cultivating for yourself. I also want to say, for those of you, if you are looking for romantic love, look for the person who, rather than the person who like makes you nervous and gives you butterflies and that you feel really intensely for, look for the person who makes you feel like calm and regulated. I know that might be boring. I know that that's not the most sparky, exciting thing, but I feel like that's what will make you happiest in the long term. And also someone who is consistent. So someone who communicates with you consistently, who makes time to see you consistently, rather than, showing up for a while, showing interest, and then disappearing for weeks at a time. Like, we're looking for consistency, security, safety, and also, yes, predictability. And like, I know it can sound, well, actually, maybe it doesn't sound boring to some of you, but it's like, rather than chasing the sparks and chasing the fireworks, it's like we're looking for a cozier energy, I guess is a way that I could put it. Anyway, so for your career and studies, we have the King of Ankhs, which is the King of Swords. And we have Water of Life, emotions, exploring the depths. So what I can say, I mean, we kind of picked up on this in the first part of the reading, is that you are definitely feeling an emotional connection, an emotional investment into the work that you do. I also think that the work you do could be presenting an opportunity to connect. There's a feeling of someone who is usually very like stoic and could come across as kind of like cold and distant, or someone who comes across as very serious, and it could even be someone who intimidates you. They are kind of softening up in the month of February, and you might see a side to them that you hadn't really seen before. This is just one example of this energy, but let's say you have a boss who, it's like you rarely see them smile. When they talk to you or when they email you, it's just like super short and to the point. You may feel kind of like intimidated by them because they're so serious all the time. And then maybe one day you are staying late and you're working on something with them, and you see a different side of them where they're laughing, they're praising you, which they don't normally do, and they're maybe talking a little bit about what's going on in their life. It's like that like rigid, strictly business, stoic, intimidating mask is kind of melting away for some reason. And with this being the king, I do feel like it's some kind of authority figure. So it could be a boss, a teacher, like someone above you in your company, that is becoming less intimidating, less scary. And you're seeing like the humanity behind them. They're not just like Mr. Boss Man or like boss person anymore. You're kind of seeing them just as like a person who's trying their best. And there's an opportunity for more connection. Also, for some of you, this could be a family member or a parental figure. If you have parents or relatives who have been really hard on you when it comes to your academic accomplishments, or when it comes to like your career accomplishments, they could be softening up to you in the month of February. There could actually be some tears. Like, I'm sorry that I've been so hard on you. I'm sorry that I've put this pressure on you. I'm sorry that I've like compared you compared you to your siblings or compared you to other people. Like some authority figure that existed in your career, in your studies, that made you feel nervous, made you feel pressure, made you feel intimidated. That is softening, and there's vulnerability that is taking its place. And I do feel like it's kind of a pivotal moment for you in your career. Wow. So finally, for your messages of spiritual and personal growth, for your tarot card, we have the Ace of Cups. Lovely. This talks about happiness, emotional fulfillment, inner peace. It can also talk about self-care in terms of filling your own cup and falling in love with yourself. And we have Dark Night, facing the void, and ego death. So in terms of your spiritual and personal growth, there's this feeling of boldly facing the darkness, or going to meet your pain, because you know that that is going to allow you to experience greater joy. I'm thinking of your emotional spectrum as like it expands outward like that, like a circle that expands outward, and you have all the different emotions going out in all different directions. Like maybe sadness is over here, and grief is over here, and anger is over here, and joy is over here, and hope is over here, like out in all directions. And you have this capacity of how much you can feel, but it can only expand and contract in a circle like this. Does that make sense? So like if one part expands, the whole circle expands. If one part contracts, the whole circle contracts. It's like, yeah. So if you are running away from some pain or sadness or grief that exists within you, and you try to like suppress that part, it's kind of like the whole emotional channel gets stifled, because like it's either open or closed. All of your emotions run through the same channel. So if you're closing that channel to avoid feeling pain, then you're kind of blocking out everything else. I hope that makes sense. And it's like the deeper you go into the heavier emotions, then the higher you can also fly to experience the lighter and happier emotions. And it feels like you, and maybe that's what this Pluto is talking about as well, being related to like the sign of Scorpio, being related to the 8th house. I don't know if you just heard that, but there were crows cawing outside. So they may be an important spirit animal that's with you too, in addition to dolphins. It's like making a commitment to existing in your shadows, sitting in your shadows, not being afraid of them. Because when you feel the harder emotions, you can feel joy even more intensely. And it's like committing to feeling everything. And there is a lot of water throughout this. Like this is water energy. This is water energy, water of life, emotions, exploring the depths. This is Cancer energy and moon energy. And there's a moon here too. So there's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of symbolism that has to do with emotions, and that has to do with the element of water. Especially like Cancer and Scorpio energy are coming through, but I think it's more metaphorical of like diving into the depths and seeing the unseen, seeing what lives in your unconscious. You are making a commitment to that shadow work. There's like yeah, and there may be stuff that your ego tries to protect you from. I just had this visual of like, there's a closet that's full of feelings, that's full of baggage. Or like if you were to open up that closet, it would all like it would all like come out in a tsunami, and then your ego is like standing at the door like, no, don't open that, don't open that. But because once you open it, you're gonna transform, and transformation is hard. And so your ego would rather not transform because it's scary, because it's uncomfortable, because it takes effort. And we don't know what's on the other side of that transformation. And the ego doesn't like the unknown. So it's almost like your ego tries to protect you from seeing that stuff and tries to stop you from looking at your shadow side. But I think this month you're committed to seeing it. And it is something that you're doing for your inner child, for little you. You're like, I don't care how much of a mess you might feel like. I'm going to bear witness to you. Well, that's making me emotional. I'm going to see you. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to validate you. And then we can grow and transform together. Wherever you're going, you're taking little you with you. You're making their dreams come true. I love the playful imagery of like being on a swing and riding on the dolphin. You are taking childhood you to make all of their dreams come true. And yes, like dealing with this heavier energy then allows you to experience greater moments of playfulness and greater moments of carefreeness, greater moments of abandon, just like unapologetic childlike joy. Yeah. So my group number 2s, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. You can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. I am sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Fluorite, this is going to be your reading all about your month of February 2024. We are going to start by taking a look at these oracle cards to see the general overview of your month. So we're going to find out the main themes and the main energies of your month ahead. We are starting off with darkness. Do not be afraid of the dark. Your eyes will adjust. You already are. I am safe in the universe. All life loves and supports me. So we're starting off with a very powerful message. Do not be afraid of the dark. Your eyes will adjust. For some of you, shadow work could be a main theme of the month of February. We spoke about this a little bit in group number 2 as well. And it was actually like the last message of the reading. So it's funny that it comes up as the first message of group number 3. If you guys did feel sort of drawn to group number 2 as well, this may be your sign to check it out. But there's really so many ways that this energy can be interpreted. I think that one thing for a lot of you in the month of February is challenging yourself to things that scare you or things that are difficult, and remembering that like the fear and the difficulty is something that you overcome as you do it, as you practice, as you go along. So A theme could be like challenging yourself, stepping out a little bit from your comfort zone in the month of February. And this card is assuring to you that whatever it may be, you will get used to it. So just for a couple of examples, maybe you're someone who is very afraid of confrontation, because you're afraid of people being upset at you. And you're not going to overcome this fear in a vacuum. You're not going to overcome this fear in a bubble, but rather by going out and doing the thing and being uncomfortable. And it will get easier and easier as you go. Another example that's coming to my mind is like physical exercise. So there may be some of you who have been wanting to like try a new workout routine, but you're like, oh, but it's going to be so hard. And this card is saying, yes, but don't worry, because the more you do it, the easier it will get. And I feel like it's something that's so easy to say, but something that we need to be reminded of sometimes. And actually to not be afraid of something being hard, to not be afraid of something being scary, because you can handle it. You can handle it, and it's going to get easier and easier for you. For those of you who have recently started a new challenge in your life, this card could be also saying that February is when you're finally going to start to like get the hang of things. So like, let's say you started a new job and you've been feeling kind of clumsy at it, or like there's a lot to remember, there's a lot of rules, or it's very different from your previous job and you're just not quite like getting the hang of it yet. This card could be saying that in February, you're finally feeling like it's starting to come naturally to you. You're finally feeling like, okay, I can do this. Like, this is getting easy. Even things like waking up earlier, starting new habits. It doesn't feel like something so much that you have to consciously, there you go, that you have to like consciously try to do. It is coming more naturally. There's also a message coming through for some of you that things that you once used to dread, you will find yourself like craving to do it now. So for one example, maybe you started doing like some yoga first thing in the morning, like waking up early and doing yoga. And when you started it, you used to be like, ugh, like I don't want to get out of bed. Like I want to sleep more. And it felt like a chore, or it felt like something that you dreaded. But now that you're getting into the habit of it, it's something that your body actually wants to do. Your body's like, yes, I want to stretch, I want to move. And then when you don't do it, you might actually like not feel good. It's like your body's wanting to do it now. And that's just it. Like our bodies and our minds are very adaptable. And when they get into a new routine, yes, it is hard at first, but they can change. They can adapt, and they do. And I think that this message really goes hand in hand with that. I am safe in the universe. All life loves and supports me. I think that feeling safe, like something that you'll be realizing is that feeling safe doesn't mean the absence of difficulty or the absence of discomfort. Feeling safe means trusting yourself that you can handle it and not being afraid of the discomfort, not being afraid of the challenge, and believing that you will get stronger, believing that you will get better. So you're definitely making progress in whatever area has been difficult for you. With you already are here, there is really something about you becoming more comfortable within a certain role, or becoming more comfortable in identifying in a certain way, where like you're no longer saying, I want to be an artist. You're like, no, I already am. I am an artist. I want to be a, I don't know. That's like the only example that's coming to my mind right now. But there was a really loud car honking outside right in that moment. So I think that this message is really emphasized for you guys. Whatever it is that you aspire to be, you already are. Like, I want to be beautiful. You already are. I want to be kind. You already are. I want to be strong. You already are. I want to be hardworking. You already are. I think you guys get the picture, realizing that the very thing that you're aiming for is not so far away. And in fact, you're already embodying a lot of the qualities that you think you're aspiring to. So my group number 3s, you may be underestimating yourself or not seeing yourself in the most accurate way. Because it's like you already possess all of these qualities, but then you're like still out there looking for them, or like trying to achieve them, trying to achieve something that you already have. So let's take a look at our astrology cards now. We have Scorpio. Group number 2 had Scorpio energy as well. So there's a couple links to group 2. And we also have first quarter. So first of all, people with Scorpio placements could be playing a significant role for you in the month of February. Butterflies make me think of Scorpio too, because it's like this transformative energy, like shedding my old skin, destroying my past, and emerging as like a new reinvented version of myself. That feels very like Scorpio-ish. So I feel like butterfly is also emphasizing that energy. So whether that's you or someone else, someone with Scorpio placements could be significant. Also, people with Sagittarius and Capricorn placements could be significant. With first quarter here, like the first quarter of the moon phase, this could be an indication that the first quarter of the month is going to be a really significant time, which is, basically the first week, because February is like 4 weeks long. So the first week of the month. And actually, I just checked this when we were doing group number 2, but the moon is going to be in Scorpio in the first few days of February. So that kind of fits together. It would be somewhere around like the 2nd to the 4th of February. So yeah, that matches like the first week, the first few days of the month. Something important is happening. And first quarter, it has a feeling of energy that is growing, energy that is gaining momentum. And that really fits too, because we've been talking about you like making progress, getting into the swing of things, growing and learning. So it seems to be all fitting together really nicely. The things that you are currently working on will continue to make progress in the month of February. The things that you are desiring and feeling called to, those are continuing to grow in the month of February as well. Definitely, there's a lot of confirmation for this group that you are on the right track. Like everything that you're working on, everything that you're wanting, that you're longing for, you are very much on the right track. So let's look at our tea leaf cards now for any other specific events that are coming this month or anything else that you need to know. So we have Whale, Great Worry Over Nothing. We have Tulip, Great Passion. And Coins, Money Will Be Coming to You. Ooh, so if we put these together, first of all, great worry over nothing, money will be coming to you. This could be indicating that any worries surrounding money will be disappearing in the month of February. You don't need to be worried about your finances. Money is going to be coming to you. There may have been some kind of mistake with your finances, like, I don't know, maybe you accidentally got charged for something, or there's like a weird charge on your credit card that you don't recognize, or maybe you panic because you think that you lost your credit card or you lost your wallet, but then you found it. Like there could be a little bit of a panic over something to do with your money and your finances, that everything turns out to be okay. And if there was any money that was like mistakenly taken from you or mistakenly not given to you, that's going to be rectified. So yeah, definitely everything's fine with money. I also like these two together. Money will be coming to you in great passion. This could be indicating that you will be receiving money for doing something that you are very passionate about. A passion project of yours that you're working on could bring in some money to you, or more specifically, more money than you were expecting. So if you did have a financial goal related to your passion project, it will bring in more than you expected. And I'm also realizing some of you, like, you didn't expect to make any money on this. Like, you were just doing it because you were passionate about it. Or maybe you expected for it to cost you money. Like, oh, I'm going to definitely be in the red after this passion project, but then maybe you break even, or maybe you do make a surplus of money, which is like a lovely, pleasant surprise for you. And then we have these two together, great worry over nothing and great passion. I think your spirit guides just they see your worries, and while they want to ease your worries, they also want to tell you, like, it's valid that you're worrying. It's okay. It makes sense. The more you care about something, like the more passionate you are, or the more you love something or someone, or the more something means to you, the more you're going to worry about it. And I think they want to remind you not to beat yourself up for worrying or having fears or having negative thoughts, and maybe even to see it as just proof of how much you care. Proof of how much you love something or someone. And that, well, it's not a beautiful thing that you feel worried, but the fact that you have the capacity to, worry over someone that you care about, or worry about an endeavor, it just shows how passionate you are. But yeah, as the whale says, your worries will not prove to be based in reality, which we love to see. So this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So we are starting off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Devil. That's interesting because I thought that maybe, we had Scorpio here, and then I was like, maybe Sag and Capricorn too. And then Capricorn energy appears. So some of you are dealing with a Capricorn in the month of February. We also have beauty. Everything is art, acknowledging the beauty all around. My eyes were going to this couple on the Devil card, and then we have beauty. I almost feel like for some of you there's a message about appreciating the beauty of a significant couple in your life. And I was sort of thinking about family. So it could be like your parents' relationship, your grandparents' relationship, like some marriage or union or couple that you're admiring and seeing the beauty in. Even if it's not perfect, you could be admiring the commitment, the resilience, how they overcame hardships. For some of you, it could even be ancestors that you may not have necessarily met personally, or maybe you were too young to remember them, but if you hear stories about them and how their love endured, or how their commitment to each other endured through the tough circumstances of life, that could be something that is very inspiring and uplifting to you. Kind of a specific message that just came through. I think the Devil makes me think of limiting beliefs, and you could be just going back to the shadow work message. You could be unlearning things that made you question your beauty, or healing insecurities that surround your beauty, whether that's like a superficial external beauty or an inner beauty. And this could be something that helps you to open up more to receiving love from others and putting yourself out there. And another thing that the Devil can talk about that I sometimes see in relationship readings is like a very magnetic attraction to someone. that, I mean, obsession is a strong word, but you know when you're like really attracted to someone and you have amazing chemistry and it's like you cannot get this person out of your head? Like you can't stop, maybe infatuation is a better word. So for those of you who are single, you could be meeting someone, or maybe you're involved with someone who makes you feel like this, like you're kind of going crazy overthinking about them and there's sparks flying. If you're already in a relationship, then you could be kindling or rekindling this kind of spark. Just, you know, I do sometimes see this as like a strong magnetic attraction, and then the fact that we have beauty here too, it is making me think of like you experiencing a very strong mutual physical attraction with someone. It could be a sexual connection as well, with your partner or partners, or with a person of interest, or even someone new who is entering into your life. But yeah, there is a little bit of a feeling of infatuation that is going on here. This could be, with the devil, this could be someone who is like a career person, a business person, a CEO, or like someone who's like, I feel silly saying these words, someone who's like busy and important. It's like, what does that even mean? But like, I guess someone who has a lot on their plate, someone who is well respected, who has influence, who has status. It could be this kind of person. And for I feel like this is just for a few of you, but the devil can also talk about like restrictions and being held back. So there could be something in your what am I trying to say? External. In your external circumstances that kind of makes it hard for you to get together. But then I feel like that just makes the attraction even stronger. Yeah. So next we have your cards for your career and studies. So for your tarot card, we have the 10 of Wands. And we have Divine Feminine, receptivity and magnetism, the one who nurtures. Interesting. So 10 of Wands in a career situation, well, in any situation, it's a tough card, but when it comes to your career and studies, this can definitely be talking about you feeling swamped, feeling overworked, feeling very busy. It's funny, like we just talked about someone who's very busy. Maybe this is you. Like you have a lot going. It's interesting in this card how, you know, very often in the 10 of Wands card, we would see someone who is carrying the wands on their back. Like they're carrying that burden. Whereas in this card, they're just looking at it. So for some of you, it could be that you're not busy yet, but you know that you're going to be soon. Like maybe you're looking ahead into March, into April, and you know that a busy period is coming soon, and you're becoming like preemptively nervous about it. For some reason, this example just came to my mind, but I thought of someone who is like going to have a child soon, and they're like, oh my gosh, like when this child comes, life is going to be so hectic. Like how are we going to manage everything? Or maybe you just have a really big project coming up, or a certain months coming ahead are just always a busy time in your industry. Like it's the on season. Like for example, and actually in Japan, I think February and March can be quite busy for like real estate, because the school year and work year starts in April. So there's people like, you know, moving into town, like students are moving into town for like the upcoming school year. So yeah, there could be something like that where you're like, oh shit, the busy time of year is coming. And you're like looking at the pile of all the stuff you have to do and already getting kind of nervous about it. And I feel like your spiritual team is shining light on the importance of boundaries at this time. With this divine feminine card here, receptivity and magnetism, the one who nurtures, I feel like my group number threes, you may have a habit of picking up the slack for other people or overextending yourself to take care of other people who, like, okay, this, an example that's coming to my mind is like, you are working really hard, you're really swamped at work, and then maybe you have coworkers who are not doing their job properly, and so you kind of step in and save them because you're anxious of like, oh my gosh, like the work isn't going to get done, or maybe you're like, oh no, like I don't want our boss to be hard on them, and you kind of step in and do their work for them. And there may be a lesson here of like, oh really, it's like you cannot afford to be doing everyone's work because you have enough work of your own that you have to focus on, and you shouldn't let the quality of your own work suffer because like you're doing other people's job. Like if they're gonna meet negative consequences because they didn't finish their work or they didn't do it properly, like let them meet their consequences, you know, that is their bed to lie in, so to speak. Or feeling like maybe you do like 90% of the housework and you're really busy at work and you're like, oh, I have to get home and make my partner's dinner and wash my partner's clothes. And it's like, maybe they can do their own stuff right now because like it just seems like you fill in a lot for where other people are not carrying the weight. And it's like you have this instinct in you, which is beautiful, by the way, to take care of other people. But I feel like sometimes your compassionate intentions, it's almost like you're protecting other people from their own shortcomings, which can kind of become like an enabling situation. If there are people around you who aren't like carrying their own weight, they might need to see the consequences of that. And that's actually an opportunity for them to step up and grow and change what needs to be changed. So it's kind of like by picking up others' work, you're not doing yourself any favors, but you're also not, in the long term, not really doing them any favors. And I think with this receptivity and the 10 of Wands, you know, you've given so much help to others that, what's the word? Sooner or later, it might be nice for you to open up to receiving help. Like helping others is a beautiful thing, but it needs to be reciprocated. I feel like I say this a lot, but it's like you can't only inhale and you can't only exhale. You have to do both. You can't only give and you can't only receive. You have to do both. And I feel like with the 10 of Wands here, there is just a message that you've been maybe giving too much. And if your spiritual team is kind of challenging you that if you were to just stick to your own business and stick to your own workload, you would find that it's manageable. So if you're feeling like stressed and burnt out, it's likely because you are picking up other people's stuff. Yeah. So finally, we are going to look at your messages for spiritual and personal growth. For, you know, it's funny too. I just realized this is Sagittarius. So like, that's all the signs we mentioned: Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. And then we have the Hanged Man, which is Pisces energy. And we have home, heart, and safe space. Aw, that's beautiful. Aw. Well, I definitely think that there's something about safety and security when it comes to your spiritual and personal growth. Feeling safe in yourself, feeling safe in the universe, and also feeling at home and feeling truly grounded in the physical world. This card, it is giving me Earth vibes, like the planet Earth, just because of all of the greenery and all of the nature. It feels very like Mother Earthy to me. And I feel like something that spiritual people can experience sometimes is like feeling, I don't know even how to explain it, like feeling kind of awkward on planet Earth, or feeling like not really belonging or not really understanding. I hear sometimes like feeling like a black sheep on Earth, feeling like a visitor on Earth, feeling like an alien on Earth. And I think that that's shifting for you, where you're feeling truly at home and connected to the beautiful Mother Earth and connected to nature, and really feeling like you belong here and feeling like you are safe here. This is Pisces energy, and Pisces energy is deeply spiritual. It connects us to our subconscious, to the collective subconscious. It connects us to higher realms and different realms that exist other than just this one 3D physical realm. But it also can talk about escapism, and maybe something that you're paying attention to in February is in what ways you've been escaping, or you've been like running away from your physical reality, and maybe even sometimes using spirituality or using a spiritual practice a little bit as a form of escapism, which maybe takes away from the fact that you can do things here in the 3D to change your situation. Like if I put these together, let's say you're feeling overwhelmed because you have so much to do, you have so many like tasks ahead of you, you have so many responsibilities. There may be a part of you that gets like overwhelmed and wants to run away. But in those moments, like it's in those moments where you should actually ground even more, I think, is what you're realizing, because it's when you ground yourself in the reality of the 3D situation that it comes to light what concrete steps you can take to change things, because there are things that you can do. In this case, like setting boundaries, not taking on other people's work, or not taking on other people's burdens. That is something that you can do here in your 3D experience to make things better. But it's like you have to be grounded here in order to feel the problem, and then in order to find the solution. And then that goes back to feeling safe when there's difficulty, and feeling safe when there's discomfort, and knowing that you can ground yourself in that feeling of discomfort, because it's going to tell you, it's going to inform you how to change. So your safety is no longer coming from the idea of like an absence of fear, or an absence of discomfort, or an absence of pain. Your safety is coming from like, I know that I'm strong enough to sit with this. I know that I can handle it. And I know that there's things I can do to change my situation. So this feels like that beautiful balance of like balancing your spiritual side and your 5D existence with your practical side and your 3D existence, and truly feeling safe and held by this earth, feeling safe and comfortable in your physical vessel, and recognizing, yes, I am an eternal being, and my existence is so much more than this one like human expression that I'm currently embodying. But as long as I am embodying this physical vessel, I'm going to really be in it, and I'm going to really enjoy it. And I may not know why I did this, but for whatever reason, I chose this earth to be my home. And I'm going to live here and enjoy it and see the beauty in it and be receptive to all the gifts and the wisdom that it has to bring me. Yeah, feeling safe and feeling at home. And trusting in your ability to confront and change and solve things. And yeah, if any of you do resonate with kind of like running away or escaping when you're overwhelmed, like, you know, the fight or flight response, you might be the flight type of person, or like even the freeze type of person, where you just feel like too overwhelmed to take action. I think that could be something that you're healing as well. yeah. So those are all of the messages for my group number 3. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching, and I wish you all the best and wish you a beautiful month of February. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below, and finally my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading, directly or indirectly. I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.